What if I told you that the biggest thing destroying your focus, motivation, memory, mood, and even your relationships isn't stress, isn't your job, and isn't your phone? It's your sleep. What makes this terrifying is that most people believe they're sleeping just fine while their brain is slowly breaking down every single night. Poor sleep doesn't scream for attention. It whispers. And by the time you notice the damage, it's already deep. Today, I'm going to show you how poor sleep silently destroys your brain, your emotions, your energy, and your life. And more importantly, how to stop it before it's too late. Sleep is one of the most misunderstood pillars of health. People treat it like a luxury, something optional, something they can catch up on later. But neuroscience shows something very different. Sleep is not rest. Sleep is active brain maintenance. While you sleep, your brain repairs neural connections, clears toxic waste, resets emotional balance, strengthens memory, and regulates hormones. When sleep is poor, none of this happens properly. Years of research in sleep science and brain optimization make one thing very clear: poor sleep quietly destroys quality of life long before any disease shows up. The reason sleep damage is so dangerous is because it doesn't feel dramatic at first. Sleep deprivation doesn't feel like pain, it feels like normal. Your brain slowly adapts downward. You start thinking this is just who you are now. You tell yourself you're not a morning person, that you can't focus anymore, that you're just stressed. In reality, your brain is running in survival mode. Studies show that people who sleep poorly consistently underestimate how impaired they really are. You don't feel how damaged your brain has become. To understand why sleep is so powerful, you need to know what actually happens in your brain when you sleep. During deep sleep, neurons reset their sensitivity. Brain cells slightly shrink, allowing waste products to be flushed out. Learning from the day is locked into long-term memory. There is a special cleaning system in your brain that only works properly during deep sleep. This system removes toxic waste, including substances linked to Alzheimer's disease. When sleep is poor, this cleanup process doesn't happen. The waste stays, night after night. This is why brain fog is one of the first signs of poor sleep. Thinking feels slower. Words don't come easily. Focus slips. This isn't imagination. Just one night of bad sleep can reduce attention, reaction time, and working memory to levels similar to being legally drunk. Chronic poor sleep damages the hippocampus, the brain's memory center. Learning becomes harder. Recall becomes weaker. Over time, this fog becomes your new normal. But the damage doesn't stop at thinking. It reaches your emotions. Many people notice they become more irritable, more anxious, or more sensitive after nights of bad sleep. Sleep loss weakens communication between the rational part of your brain and the emotional center. Emotions become louder, while control becomes weaker. Small problems feel huge. Stress feels overwhelming. This is why poor sleep is strongly linked to anxiety and depression. Sleep doesn't just affect how you think, it affects who you are. Motivation is another silent casualty. Motivation is driven by dopamine, the brain's reward and drive chemical. Poor sleep reduces dopamine receptor sensitivity. Even when dopamine is released, you feel less motivation and less reward. This is why people who sleep poorly procrastinate more, feel numb, lose ambition, and rely heavily on caffeine or sugar just to function. Your drive isn't gone. Your sleep is. Anxiety and sleep feed each other in a dangerous loop. Bad sleep increases anxiety, and anxiety destroys sleep. A sleep-deprived brain becomes hyper-alert. It anticipates threats even when none exist. Thoughts race at night. The mind won't shut off. This creates chronic mental tension that feels impossible to escape. Poor sleep also destroys decision-making. The part of your brain responsible for judgment, impulse control, and long-term thinking becomes weaker. This leads to impulsive choices, risky behavior, poor financial decisions, and regret. Many life mistakes are made on tired brains. You don't lose intelligence when you don't sleep. You lose control over it. People often think sleep only affects physical energy. In reality, mental energy collapses first. You might still move your body, go to work, and get things done, but your mind resists effort. Creativity fades. Complex thinking feels exhausting. Focus becomes painful. This is why people feel mentally burned out even when they haven't done much physically. One of the biggest myths about sleep is the idea that you can catch up on it. Sleeping longer on weekends helps a little, but chronic sleep loss creates long-term changes in the brain. Sleep debt doesn't fully reset. Your brain needs regular, consistent, high-quality sleep, not occasional recovery. Over the long term, poor sleep is linked to serious diseases like Alzheimer's, heart disease, obesity, diabetes, and depression. But the earliest damage is cognitive and emotional. That's why people don't connect sleep to their problems. The damage starts quietly. Modern life makes sleep worse without us noticing. Artificial light at night, screens, late caffeine, stress, and irregular schedules confuse the brain. Your brain thinks it's under constant daylight. Melatonin production drops. Circadian rhythm breaks. Sleep becomes lighter and shorter, even if you're in bed for many hours. The good news is that the brain can recover. Improving sleep quality starts with alignment, not perfection. Waking up at the same time each day, getting natural light in the morning, reducing screens at night, and timing caffeine correctly all send powerful signals to the brain. You don't need to fix everything at once. Small changes create big results. Research shows that within 7 to 14 days of better sleep, focus improves, mood stabilizes, memory sharpens, and anxiety decreases. The brain is plastic. Healing is real. Poor sleep doesn't just make you tired. It slowly damages your brain, steals motivation, weakens emotional control, changes personality, and limits your future. Sleep is not optional. It is biological maintenance. When sleep improves, life improves in ways most people never expect. If this video opened your eyes, take a moment to like it so more people can see this message. Comment below how many hours you usually sleep each night. Subscribe for science-backed videos on sleep, brain health, and focus, and watch the next video where I reveal night habits that silently destroy sleep quality.